What is more important, learning new words or actually memorize them? I believe remembering words is even more important than learning a new word. You can learn thousands of words, but mastering and using them in your speaking and writing is the real challenge. I've learned and remembered over 3,000 words that I can easily use in conversation and writing. It wasn't an easy journey. I struggled and tried many techniques I found online, and most of them didn't work for me. Today, I'm going to share step by step techniques you can use to quickly learn vocabulary and permanently store into your long term memory. First things first, what's your reason for learning vocabulary? Do you want to improve your English overall? Are you studying for exams or do you just love learning new words? Defining your goal is key to your success. When I started learning, I had no clear purpose. I would note it down words I encountered in movies or documentaries and look them up immediately. That approach quickly became boring, took the fun out of learning. Later, when I tried learning vocabulary from books like Word Smart, which is a famous for competitive exams like the SAT, GMAT, and MBA, I found it frustrating and tedious. After learning a few hundred words, I gave up. So, how do you really learn new words? Well, don't worry, I'll cover step-by-step process for learning vocabulary that anyone can follow. Don't skip any part. Our next section is read and listen. Then read anything that interests you. If you love novels, start with something fun like comics. Tintin, for example, was a favorite of mine growing up. Or dive into classic novel like Harry Potter or any novel that match with your readability and taste. Reading introduces new words in context, showing you how they're used naturally in sentences. For example, when you see the word melancholy in a sentence like, she gazed at the melancholy sky, you instantly understand its meaning without needing a dictionary. The more you encounter a word across different contexts, books, articles, or even blogs, the stronger your memory of it becomes. Reading also introduced you to various writing styles from fiction, news articles, academic papers, and poetry, giving you a well rounded language experience. Plus, it improves your spelling and even pronunciation, especially when you combine reading with audiobooks. Listen actively. If you do not like novels, try reading newspapers, blogs, or magazines. I recommend prominent sources like BBC, the New York Times, and Business Standard. If you want to read well written articles, follow Al Daily. It will help you in GRE exam. Watching documentaries is another excellent way to boost your listening skills and expand your vocabulary. When you hear new words in documentaries, the visuals help retain their meanings. For example, if a documentary talks about volcanic eruptions, seeing the eruption in action makes the term more memorable. A pro tip: or when you come across a new word, try to guess its meaning from the context. Mark it, whether by underlining in a book, highlighting in a PDF, or noted it down in a notebook while watching a video. Instead of stopping the video every time for unfamiliar word, note all the words and learn them later. You can note the timestamp in a video so you can revisit the context once you've learned the meaning. Now it's time to use those new words into your daily language. When you first learn a word, it's stored in your short term memory. But by writing and speaking it out loud, you transfer it into your long term memory. Write it down. Create sentences or short paragraphs using your new vocabulary. This active use forces your brain to process and store the words. Think about everyday words like smart or intelligent. You know them instantly because you use them all the time. Speak out loud. Speaking engages your senses and reinforces learning. Try this. Write a short paragraph with your new words, then read it aloud. This dual action of writing and speaking makes the words more memorable. Using new vocabulary in emails, texts, or daily conversations helps cement them in your active vocabulary. Some advanced words like lugubrious, perspicacious, or quixotic might seem too complex for everyday conversation. In these cases, practice by using them in written paragraphs and reading them out loud until they feel natural. There are few important techniques which I will discuss in this section. One traditional method is using flashcards, either through apps like Anki or Quizlet, or by writing them in a notebook. Write down the word, its meaning, an example sentence, and at least two synonyms. This method is particularly useful if you're preparing for exams. However, don't rely solely on flashcards. Combine them with the reading, listening, writing, and speaking methods, which I discussed earlier. Check out vocabulary.com. This website far better than using a flashcard app. The dictionary shows words in context, and you can create your own flashcards and where you can practice questions based on your flashcard for free. It's an effective way to build your vocabulary. Another powerful tool is a ChatGPT. You can use it to get detailed information about a word. For example, try a prompt like, for each of the following words, 1. Provide all its meanings. 2. Translate the meanings into your language if you're not a native speaker. 3. Show 5 examples of how the word is used in different contexts. Provide 3 closely related synonyms and antonyms. Play with the prompt, use different instructions, customize the prompt to suit your learning style. If you're only interested in learning vocabulary naturally, you can skip this part. For those preparing for competitive exams, there's a specific challenge: memorizing vocabulary lists that include words you might never encounter in your life. If you have a year or more before your exam, learn vocabulary to develop naturally through your regular reading and listening. You'll find that 60 to 80% of the listed words you encounter are common, while rest of 20 to 40% are uncommon. If you have 3 to 6 months left, focus on a vocabulary list. You can find many lists online. Most lists share 80 to 90% of the same common words. So here are a few examples. GMAT GRE words, Barron's 333 high frequency words, SAT Hit Parade, WordSmart 1 and 2, GRE vocabulary by Magoosh. There are many lists available, so choose one that suits your learning style. Personally, I'm not a fan of vocabulary books arranged in ascending order like WordSmart, though many people prefer that method. Ultimately, it all depends on what works best for you. Identify words you haven't learned in your regular reading and use the tools: ChatGPT, vocabulary.com, and flashcards to learn them. And remember, always use these words by practicing, speaking, and writing. Final tips and conclusion: enjoy the process. Use methods that you find fun. If you love movies, turn on subtitles, note down unfamiliar words, and try to guess their meanings. Be consistent. Don't quit, even when it feels challenging. Revise regularly. Make it a habit to review and use new words in context. Practice all 4 skills. Incorporate reading, listening, speaking, and writing into your routine. This comprehensive approach will not only boost your vocabulary, but also improve your overall English skills. You will do amazing in English language tests. I'm even thinking about launching a free vocabulary course on this channel. Designing an innovative course too much takes time, so if you guys support me, I'll launch it as soon as possible. Do you want a vocabulary course? Let me know in the comments. If you found this video helpful, subscribe, share it with your friends, and stay tuned for more. Thank you.